Hey, what's happening, everybody? I hope everybody is thriving out there, having that thrive, getting the thrive on. Thrive Hive. The Thrive Hive. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, yeah, I hope everybody's doing good out there. I am doing outstanding. Actually, I'm probably not outstanding, but I'm doing pretty well. I'm full of energy. I feel good. Feel pretty good. Um, my voice sounds a little bit weird, but as usual, par for the course, right? Um, let me see. What do we got coming at you? We got critters. Yep. We got some critters in this one. I think you'll find that's pretty cool. What else we talk about? I had a little weight gain. That's awesome. I got the results from a PET scan. Not such good news there, but we'll talk about a little bit about that. A bunch of other stuff, all kinds of stuff coming at you. So, this is Saturday, the 5th of June. I jumped the shark a little bit, try to get this one out early this weekend. And this is SITREP 74 coming at you. So the first thing we do is talk about God. And so I got this one, if you recall, way back to, what was it, SITREP 12. It was like way back in the beginning of November 2019. I ungifted, or I unboxed a whole bunch of gifts that folks at work had given me. And my boss at the time, Colonel Pritchett, had given me a cool camouflage notebook. And she also gave me this, which this is like the New Testament plus Psalms and Proverbs. And Army chaplains give these out because they're like indestructible, right? Like, so they'll stand at the place where the first sergeant's feeding chow in the morning because they know all the soldiers are going to come out to get hot chow for breakfast. And the chaplain will be there. And as people go through the line, the chaplain will be like, hey, here you go, have a Bible. So I'm pretty sure that's where she got this too. This is from Gideon's, and so she gave it to me. I was like, you know what, Lord, show me the way. And I closed my eyes, and I basically, put my finger on the Bible and show me the way. And what it went to was Luke 18, chapters 40 through 43. I'm gonna read that in the bigger Bible because, well, that's bigger font. So here we go. This is Luke chapter 18, verse 40 to 43. Jesus stopped and commanded that he be brought to him. When he came closer, he asked him, what do you want me to do for you? Lord, he said, I want to see. Receive your sight, Jesus told him. Your faith has saved you. Instantly he could see, and he began to follow him, glorifying God. All the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God. Now, if that isn't prophetic, I don't know what is, because obviously just before that, I was diagnosed with cancer, right? So basically this passage is saying that all the man had to do was say it with his mouth what he wanted, and that's what the Lord gave him, okay? Now again, that doesn't mean that can happen in all instances, but what it is saying is, now if you recall back last year, I was having some issues with, but one of my brothers pointed out to me that I need to be careful of what I said, because what I said in one of the SITREPs around that time was that the civilian docs, or the doctors, gave me 4 to 6 months. The doctors gave me 4 to 6 months. Now what does that do? What does it say? What does that mean? It kind of means that, implies that I was accepting that. And when I accept that with my mouth as a Christian, then that's what it is, right? And what I'm doing essentially is blocking out God's will, right? And I can't do that as a Christian. That's kind of what the brother was warning me about. Be careful what you say with your mouth, because that is what it is. That's you limited your options, right? When I said the doctors gave me 4 to 6 months, and that was the only option I had, right? And that doesn't leave any room for healing, like prophetic healing. So yeah, I believe that God's will is what's going to happen here. Whether that be 4 to 6 months, or that means I get completely healed, I don't know. We shall see. Figure I'll talk about my hands real quick. So I got these little bathtub hands. Can you see it? I just I was soaking in water for an hour. I don't know what is up with that. And I got these comparison pictures. Remember this? Remember that from a while ago? My index finger was all cut up. Check this out. You can see the before and the after pic. Healed pretty quick, but actually it was like 20 May. That picture was all cut up. It was from SITREP 71 on 20 May. So what's it been, like 3 weeks? A couple, 3 weeks? Healed up pretty good. And I gotta constantly trim these things. You see this little nub sticking out here? I got them all over my fingers, right on the corners by the nail cuticle, the corner of the nail. I can trim those out, because if I don't, they get caught on stuff, and then they start bleeding and crap. So yeah, my hands are a mess. So I want to expand on a little something that I touched on in SITREP 72. If you recall, I was talking about normal mode, right? And when you get out of normal mode, you have to pay attention to what's going on. But I want to expand on that a little bit, because there's a huge life lesson in normal mode, in getting out of normal mode. So, case in point, I used to come home when I was on active duty. You wear your headgear when you're outside. You take off your headgear when you come inside. So I'd leave work, go out of the building, put on my headgear, get in my car, drive all the way home, usually with my headgear on. Get out of the car, on the outside, go into my house, take off my headgear. And I had in one spot on this little table thing, I take my headgear off and I set my headgear down right on that table thing every evening when I got home. First thing I do is take my car keys, drop them in my headgear. Take my wallet out, drop it in my headgear. Anything else out of my pockets, drop it in my headgear. Because the next morning, what was I going to do? Before I went out the door, I was going to put my headgear on. And I always knew where my keys were, my wallet were. That's normal mode. But if I came home, and as soon as I got in the door, I seen my wife carrying something heavy, big laundry basket or something, and I ran over to her, what did I just do? I got out of normal mode. I didn't stop at my little station and do my little ritual, right? So I go over to her, take my car keys and set them down on the TV. I'm out of normal mode. I have to pay attention to that. I have to take note of where I set my keys. If I don't, I'm never going to find them. I'll forget where I put them. Every time. Every single time. So what I'm getting at, guys, is whenever you do something it's out of the normal, you have to realize you're out of the normal mode, you're out of the norm, and B, you have to start paying attention, because what you're doing now is not normal. Right? That makes sense? North and south? Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. And you're probably sitting there going, some of you are probably going, holy crap, he's right. Some of you going, what are you talking about? Which side are you on? Did you guys realize that? Or is there some special thing you do that jogs your memory of when you get out of normal mode and you do something different and you actually have to pay attention? How do you guys bring that on? How does that work for you? How do you make it work for you? I'm curious. Leave me a comment below. Yeah? Cool. So different people bond in different ways. Me and my daughter, we're going to bond while we change some motor oil. That's what we're going to do. Wednesday, a couple days ago, I had a PET scan, and that was my neck, my chest, my abdomen, and my thighs. And I got the results on Thursday, and it's not really good news. So it looks as if the gruesome threesome and the chemo regimen that I'm on now isn't really working completely. It's not working. It did stop the spread of cancer. I don't have any new lesions, it looks like, but some of the ones that I have are continuing to grow. So the particular one that kind of concerned Dr. Kaplan was the one that I've been complaining about in my throat, and the one in my nasal and oral pharynx, the one in the roof of my mouth mainly. Luckily, that tumor is growing, but it's not so much growing toward my airway. It's growing the opposite direction, thank God. If it was growing toward my airway, that would be a really, really bad situation. But essentially, she wants to stop this chemo regimen and look into trials. So they're going to be digging into that. Unfortunately, that's going to take up to a month to get going. And so in the meantime, I'm going to continue on this regimen that I'm on now. But eventually that's going to stop. And we'll just have to wait and see what kind of trial I can kind of get into. Now, she said the one good thing is I'm still active. So, they kind of look for that. If you're just laying around, you're not active, and you just, love watching TV, and you're losing weight, i.e. you're failing to thrive, they won't include you in trials if you're in that kind of situation. But luckily, I'm not in that situation. As a matter of fact, I gained another pound when I weighed in on Thursday when I went for my chemo regimen. So I overcame a 4-pound deficit, 5-pound deficit, and I actually gained a pound. So I was right. That loss that I had last week was all water loss due to dehydration. So thank God for that. So at least I'll look good going into talking to the trial folks. We'll see again what trials they have coming up. There's one other option that I have. There's another drug called, let's see if I can find it here, nivolumab or Opdivo. It's another immuno drug. And I sent a message out to Dr. Kaplan today asking her, is this an option for me? Now, obviously, if the VA doesn't offer it, then I'd have to go back through my civilian doc, back through the regional medical center, to even start to begin that or look into getting that treatment. And that's going to be probably at least 3 weeks to a month. See, I would guess. I don't know. But I asked her that question. So I'm looking at my options. We'll see what happens. And I went in for that triple gruesome threesome yesterday. I'm sorry, on Friday. And so yeah, I'm continuing on with that. I don't have any nausea or anything, so I took the anti-nausea meds on schedule this time. The first iteration, I messed that up totally, and I paid for it. But the last iteration of this one, I should be okay. So got the SITREP on that. That's where I'm at chemo and the I'm not going to say only a half positive PET scan result. So some of you guys were asking a little bit about critters. We got some critters. So here's what I did. I had a piece of wood, a 1x1. I screwed some like 5 long screws into the bottom of it. I drove it in the ground. I took some apple slices. I stuck the apple slices on there. So I got about 3.5, 4 minutes of that out for you, which is kind of cool. And then remember the sand cranes from like back about 2 months ago, SITREP 62, I think it was. Well, those sand cranes are on the VA property. That's completely gated in. So they can fly, but they have no reason to fly there. Nobody hassles with them. So I got some footage of, well, here's a picture of old versus new. You see that little baby. Well, you'll see the baby now. It's big. So anyway, we'll get right into this. Here you go. We got some critters coming right after right now. Here's those same birds. Beautiful, what you doing there? Hello. Hello. That's the baby. That must be the mama. Maybe that's the baby. No, that's the baby right there. It's cool looking, right? Not supposed to mess with them. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. How close you can get to them. They don't even care. Look at that. It's crazy. So I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope everybody's thriving out there. I certainly had an up and a down week. I got to see some old friends. in the sand cranes. And kind of a downside was the disappointing news from the PET scan, but what can you do? What keeps me positive is the new subs, like Zara Kramer. Welcome to the channel, sister. And all you other guys, you old subs, I appreciate you guys as usual. Please like, share, subscribe my videos. Hopefully everybody had a blessed week, man. I mean, hope you had a blessed week, and I hope hope this upcoming week is going to be good for you as well. And the weather here is getting hot. I'm sure it's starting to crank up where you are too. It's getting to the point where you go outside and you start to sweat pretty quick now. Like if you hang around too much outside before you get in the car, you can feel a little sweat on your belt line. So yeah, Orlando's like that. We go from hot to heat real quick. But hey, that's why I like living here. I don't need seasons. Oh, seasons are nice, but nah, I don't need them. You guys can keep that. Anyway, it was good talking at you. And again, have a blessed upcoming week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you. And we will see you guys soon, all right?